back with another episode of Successful Marketing and Sales and Relationships for adult small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we offer fast, focused, financially beneficial courses at a fair price. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, and today, I'm answering some questions that people have been asking me on a regular basis everywhere I go. And one of them is, how do I hire a marketing person? What should I be looking for? How do I know a good marketing person from a bad one? And it really boils down to one question. So today we're going to talk about how to hire a marketing person, what type of marketing person you need to be looking for, and then we're just going to go from there. So without any further ado, thank you for tuning in, and let's get to it. So the question was asked of me, well, I want to hire somebody. I need somebody to market my business, and I don't know who to hire. There's a whole bunch of people on my timeline, and I just don't know who to hire. And it can all be summed up in this one question. How are you going to get me from contact to contract? Okay. The number one question you need to ask any marketer is to show you how to get from contact to contract. And what I mean when I say contact to contract, I mean, how do I get from a person to a payday? Okay. Because in order to get a sale, you need a customer. In order to get a customer, you need attention and information from a person who has these four things. Okay. So in order to get a customer, you need attention and information from a person who has these four things. Number one, they got to want it. Number two, they got to need it. Number three, they got to be ready. And number four, they got to be willing. Okay. Now, when I say willing, I mean willing to pay you. So again, in order to get a sale, a payday, a wealth transfer, you need a person, a customer. In order to get a customer, you need their attention and information, because you need a way to contact them. You need them to open your email. You need them to watch your video. So you need their attention. Okay. But not only do you need their attention and to watch your video, in order to get a sale, they got to want it, need it, be ready and willing. Okay. So what do they need to want? Okay. They need to want whatever it is that you're selling. In other words, they need to be in the market for a new car. They need to be in the market to lose weight. They need to be in the market for a night out. So they got to actually want that thing that you're trying to get them to buy. So the reason I say that is because, again, you got to get that person's time and attention first, so that they give you their information, so that you can then contact them about buying what you want them to buy. So they got to want it. So if you're a vegan, chances are you're probably not looking at any steak commercials. So the first thing you got to do is you got to ask that marketer, how are we going to get people that want what I'm selling? And if you get people who want it, then now at least you can get attention. So number two, they got to need it. Because you could want it, but if you don't really need it, now what tends to happen is people say, hey, well, I'll think about it. Hey, I'll call you back. Hey, what's the cheapest price? Because see, when there's no need, there's no urgency. And if there's no urgency, then they could take as long as they want. Now, for you at home, it's like, I don't need that, because I need the money. I need them to want to buy today. I need them to help me pay my NIPSCO or my Con Ed or, whatever my electrical and gas service is in whatever state or city I'm watching this in. So I need a decision today. But if there's no need and no want, people take their time. You get a meeting with somebody and you like, man, I've been hustling. This going to be the one. You already counted the money up. You're like, cool. Okay, it's going to hit my account. Then I'm going to pay my car note. Then, cool, I got to pay tuition. All right, cool. Then I'm going to get a couple groceries. But then that person says, well, just send us over the proposal. Or let us see your deck, or just direct us to where we can peruse through the stuff. So now there's not a real major need there, because if they don't buy it today, it's not going to really change their life. We'll take as many weeks as we need to, because it doesn't really matter to us. We're looking for something 6 months from now. So there has to be a need and a want. Because if they need it, how bad do they need it? Do they need it today bad? Which gets me into willing and ready. Yeah. So are you ready to buy? So when you're talking to a marketing person, how are you going to get me people who are ready to buy? Because if they don't get you people who want it, need it, and are ready, then you can't get them to the point that you need to get them to, which is a meeting, so that we can now sign a contract, so that we can have a wealth transfer. So now when you're talking about hiring a marketing person, how are you going to get me people who want, need, and are ready? Now, I told you it was 4 things, and the 4th one is willing. Because like I said, there's going to be thousands of people trying to get the same business. So now what's your plan to get me around those thousands of people to the customer? What's your plan to get me over the hump and get a meeting? Like I said in the beginning, it has to go from contact to contract. So how are we going to get the contacts that are the most ready, that need us the most, that want what we have, and are willing to pay our price? Because that willing to pay our price part is extremely important. Because I could get you a whole bunch of people who don't want it, got a list of people who don't want your stuff, and we're talking about insights and likes, but nobody wants it. So I'm not making any money. Okay. I could get you a whole bunch of people who don't need it, so we're not making any money. Or the need isn't that bad, so now it takes forever, and I make a lot of business waiting on these people to make a doggone decision. They might not be ready. Again, it could take forever, and they might not be willing to pay my price. So now, willing to pay your price. Here's what happens when people are not willing to pay your price. Now you have to do a job that you don't really want to do. And if you keep taking jobs that you don't really want to do, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get burned out. You're going to get tired. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get bored. Because there's no reward at the end of a job that doesn't help you get what you want as the business owner. Example, you take a job that should cost $3,000, but because you're struggling, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go and do it for $1,500. So now every day you working for something that's half of what you should be getting. How can you be happy with that? How can you be excited about that? How can you want to give that person your best work? And if you do 2, 3, 4 of those jobs, now you got to keep doing those jobs, because that's what you get known for. You get known for being the $5 holler. You get known for being the $1,500 person. And if you're trading time for money and you're not getting enough money, you become a very unhappy, unproductive, unprofessional business owner, because now you got to cut corners because you don't have the money you need to pay your people. You don't have the money you need to get the supplies. You don't have the money you need to mix the stuff the right way. So now your product suffers. So now you end up with this bad reputation as somebody who can't do the job, when in actuality, you could do the job. It's just that the people you hired to help you, the people you partnered with, did not put you in the best position to get you a price. Because whenever you give too much of a discount, now you start playing, let me cut the corner. I'm going to put a little bit less in there. I'm going to give them a little bit less. So now I can keep a little bit more of the cost down. So I can keep the cost down. And I can save a little bit of money so I can pay a bill. So I can keep the lights on. So I can pay an employee. So now your product suffers. I mean, if we were, and I guess this is the only example I got, so I'm going to use it. If we were selling drugs and you kept putting more and more stuff in the drugs to make it go further and stretching it and diluting it, now people don't want them anymore because they've been stepped on too much. And I'm not, in any way, shape, or form trying to convince you to go sell drugs. I'm just simply saying that when your product becomes diluted because your price is too low, it then cheapens the product and makes people not want to buy it even more. So now when you're hiring a marketing person, it becomes, how can you get me the right kind of people? And the right kind of people are people who are ready, willing to pay my price, really need what I'm offering, and want it. You could want to lose weight, but not be ready. You could need to lose weight and not really want to. So you got to have all four. Now, for you at home, here's my recommendation. If you're at home and you think about hiring a marketing person, do as much of the work yourself as possible, so that when you finally do get to the actual marketing person, you're able to say, this is what I want. This is how I needed to look. This is what I needed to say, so that you can then take these quote unquote people who are doing your marketing and make them actually work for you. Because the majority of people who are doing marketing and doing branding do not come from sales. So therefore, because they do not come from sales, they do not think about sales. And you at home, what do you need? Do you need somebody who doesn't know how to sell? Or do you need somebody who does know how to sell? Do you need somebody who knows how to build things that become salespeople? Or do you need somebody who just knows how to build stuff? Again, how are we going to get from contact to contract? Even with your website. Your website should be a salesperson. I say that as somebody who's built websites and framework websites and adjusted websites so that now when people go to them, they buy. They give their information. Because remember, what did we say in the beginning? We needed information and attention. So now when they go to the website, it's like, oh, wow, cool. Okay, cool. Now, what do I need to do next? Oh, okay, cool. Click right here. So either A, you walk away with a sale, or B, you walk away with contact information so that you can then contact them periodically with emails that act as your second salesperson to help close them. So again, you need people who are going to get you closer to a contract, closer to a deal, closer to a wealth transfer. So if you're sitting down with a marketer, how are they going to get you there? Now, again, I'll use an example. I had a client one time who brought in this person to teach us about doing emails, which I found quite funny, by the way, because at the same time I had another client who was doing like $100,000 a month using emails. But because this particular client didn't hire me for that and wasn't willing to sit down to even talk about that, they just wanted to use social media and didn't realize that if you drive social media to an account and you get a contact, but that you don't send an email to them, that you're just pouring contacts out onto the ground. So we're sitting there and they're talking about, well, here's how you send an email and here's what you do. And you do this right here. And I would do that right here. And I'm sitting there going, but who are you talking to? Why would you say that to them? Why is that important? How is that going to then move them forward? So now when you hire a person that doesn't know how to get an email opened, that doesn't know how to keep the attention of the reader, that doesn't know how to then move that reader to make a decision to buy, now, again, you're just pissing away customers, for lack of a better word. You're pouring customers out onto the ground. So now when you're talking about an email marketer, okay, well, what is your plan from getting me from contact to contract? How are you going to ensure that my emails are open? What's your plan to get emails open? Do you have a strategy? Or are you just going to send emails out that nobody wants to read? And then they put me on their spam list, or they unsubscribe, or they never open it, and it just send them out week after week, and it doesn't translate into any money. But I had to pay you, and I had to pay the platform, and I had to pay for these emails to get sent out. How are you going to hire a person that knows how to get an email opened? Again, how are you going to get me from contact to contract? Why are people, make them explain to you, sis, I love you. I'm keeping it a buck with you. When you sit down with your homegirl who does marketing, or you sit down with old boy that does marketing and they got their nice little fit on, make them explain. Make them explain how are they going to, why are they going to open these emails? What's your strategy? What's your cadence? What's your success rate? And why is your success rate what it is? Because they can't explain it to you, that means they can't do it for you. Why are you sending this email? Why are you saying this? Why are you doing this? And if they cannot explain it to you, then the likelihood of them being able to get you from contact to contract is very slim. So again, same thing with the web builder. Like, how are you going to help make my website a salesperson? Because you can make a website, or you can make a website that's a salesperson. Now, ideally, if you're the business owner, you need as many salespeople as you could get. Right? Right. 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 So your website should be a salesperson. Your email should be a salesperson. So if my website is the person that's at the beginning of the store, just think about it. Website, beginning, first walk in the store. Website's person says, hey, how you doing? Okay. Right then and there, website should be closing. What you looking for today? We got this on sale. You know, are you interested in maybe getting this? Like a real human being. You know, this is what we're offering you. As soon as you come through the door, that's website. Okay, so now, maybe they don't buy anything, maybe they do. So now they go home. Now your other salesperson kicks in. That's email. So now how do you put together an email that gets opened? That doesn't only get open because you're cheap as dirt. Because again, if it's cheap as dirt, you're going to burn out. You're going to cut, you're going to cut the product. The product's going to be worth nothing. So now the real brand that you have isn't going to be this beautiful, wonderful business. It's going to be the person who has the cheap products that nobody likes. Because you had to keep cutting corners. And then you died a slow death for going out of business. But then, again, so now your second salesperson kicks in. That's the email. So you got to see these people as salespeople. These people are supposed to be paying their own way. They're supposed to be paying for themselves. They're supposed to be working. So now your emails, how are their emails working as a salesperson? Okay, they got to get people to open. They got to get people to read. And they got to get people to buy. See, the reason my open rates are high is because I know that we're only going to talk about things that are important to your customer. You know, we're going to predict the future for your customer. We're going to talk about how current issues are affecting your customer. We're going to give your customer the best information possible to get them to the point where they can get the outcome that they want. You know, all the questions they ask, we're going to give them the answers week in and week out. Why? Because that's what's important to them. So now that gets them open. And in the meantime, we're going to mix in some sales. We're going to mix in, some limited time onlys. We're going to mix in some bonuses. See, now I'm trying to explain to you, low key, how you actually get people to open it. Right now, example, people probably aren't paying attention to this, but it's harder than ever to get credit right now. Harder than ever. Like 50% or more people are getting turned down. So if it's harder to get credit for your business and for your personal credit, how are you going to keep your businesses running? How are you going to keep payroll paid? How are you going to keep your lights on if you don't have any sales? Because now you can't go to get a loan because it's harder than ever to get a loan. So turn down rate is over 50%, according to Yahoo Business. So now you got to figure out another way because that door is closed now. Can't just keep opening credit cards. So now you're going to need some sales. So let's just theoretically say, hey, newsflash. Information just came out today saying the following. Credit is harder than ever to get. Read below to figure out what to do. Same thing during COVID. Hey, COVID has got the world shut down. Here's how you need to be thinking and adjusting. So for me, hey, here's what's affecting our industry. Here's what's affecting how we're going to be able to reach our goals. And here's the plan to get around them. Now, for me, I would read that. Hey, now some stuff is happening right now that I really need to know about. Yeah, let me go and open that one. Why wouldn't I? Because this affects my business. This affects my ability to feed my family. This affects me. If you're somebody looking to lose weight and there's information about Ozempic online or being sent directly to your email, wouldn't you open it? News flash, undiscovered side effects of Ozempic. That would be something that people who are losing weight or thinking about taking Ozempic would read. Here's what happens if you use Ozempic for 6 months. Hero stories about Ozempic. Now, here's the people who've taken it and succeeded. Here's what people are saying about Ozempic. Top 10, brands of, weight loss, whatever. How much should it cost? So those are the things that we're doing to get people to open the email, because we know that those questions are questions that they have. Does it work? Will it work for me? How much does it cost? When's the next one available? What's the best one to take? How many times do I take it? So those are the questions that people have. Those are the questions that we ask, so that we then get inbound business, inbound. Because that's what a good salesperson does. A good salesperson brings business in. So now my website needs to be working, and my emails need to be working, so that I could get the sales that I need. Now, you at home, imagine if your emails and your website were working to bring you customers that were ready to buy. You can make business. You can make money in your sleep. Because you'd wake up and be like, oh, wow, we got 6 orders last night. Or you'd wake up and be like, oh, man, we got 4 appointments last night. But if your emails don't get open and your website gets ignored, how are you going to get there? And if the person you hire has never gotten an email opened, has never created a website that was a salesperson that actually made money, how are they going to help you? And if they can't help you, how are you going to make money? Because again, in order to get a sale, you need a customer. In order to get a customer, you need attention and information from somebody who's willing, ready, who needs what you want, who needs and wants. I'm sorry. So how do you get there if the marketing person that you hire isn't helping you get there? If you say, okay, well, who's help people actually do this? Okay. People who actually sell. Because marketing and sales and advertising and promo go together just like this. It's a triangle. All 3 go together. Now you might say, okay, well, I'm using SEO. But if you drive SEO, but if you're driving traffic to a website that doesn't close them, just pouring water on the floor. If you can't get a contact, if you can't get a sale with your website, what good is your SEO? What good is your social media? So now you need a place where they actually give you money. So when you're hiring that marketing person, they got to show you how to get it from contact to contract. How do I use the live to then get people to want to give me money? How do I use my post to get people to want to give me money? And here's the thing with that for you at home. There's going to be seasons for your customer. And you have to understand each and every season. There's going to be a season where your customer don't need you. They're going to be making so much money. They're going to be so happy. They're going to be so busy. They're going to be so in love. They're going to be all of the above. And they're not going to need you. But you got to still keep posting, because they're going to break up with that person. They're going to have gained that weight. They're going to have lost that business. They're going to need that job. They're going to need that marketing. They're going to need whatever it is that you offer at some point. So even if they're not buying right now, you're going to wake up one day, if you got it set up right, and there's going to be somebody in your inbox. There's going to be somebody who clicked the link last night. There's going to be somebody who brought the program. It just might not be today, which is why you have to sell at a price that allows you to make a good living. Because when the seasons change, you don't want to be so burnt out and your product be so diluted that you can't keep that customer, that you can't use that customer to get more customers through testimonials, referrals, and celebrating and elevating them. So you have to put yourself in a position when you sell to sell at a price that you can then use to keep you sustained. Because you got to be able to pay you got to be able to pay your people, you got to be able to pay your expenses, and you got to be able to re-up on your product. So you have to be able to factor all that into your sale. And I know you're saying, well, people don't want to pay right now, or people don't want to buy right now. Right now, they don't. So you got to keep your foot on the gas. Keep asking people, do they know somebody? Keep asking people, do they know someone? And then you give them a clear, description of who you're looking for that is interested in what you do. Hey, do you know somebody who's graduating and needs, sweets and treats, cupcakes, cookies, caramel grapes, chocolate covered strawberries? Because if you know somebody, I got a deal going right now. Do you know someone who is having a family reunion? Because if you do, I got these t-shirts that I'm about to drop for the family reunions, and I got a little special going on. If they get, 25 of them, I give them another 5 for free. Do you know someone? Because see, those third-party introductions, those work way better than strangers. Now, you may get a stranger, but you may not. They might not be watching social media right now. They may not be ready to buy right now. They might not be willing to buy at your price. So now, what do you do? So is your marketing person able to help you work your warm traffic, which is people who know and know of you, but then also able to help you work your cold traffic, which is people who don't know you, and turn cold traffic into inbound sales, meaning people start calling you? Because you need them to generate money. You need them to be building salespeople for you and selling and helping you sell. Because if you can't close, it's just pouring water on the floor. I done went all the way out here, got these buckets of water, and then just came home and dumped them on the floor. We can't cook with them. We can't drink them. We can't take a bath with them. We can't use them to do nothing because we just poured it all on the floor. Or there's a bucket with a hole in it, so before I get home, all the water's ran out. Again, same problem. I can't drink it, bathe with it, cook with it, because, again, it didn't do what I needed it to do. I needed it to be sturdy and hold water all the way back. I didn't need it to be lean and fall over. I needed to be able, when I sat it on the ground, it stayed on the ground and stayed upright, so that I could then take water out of it and put it in the cooking bowl, take water out of it and put it in the sink, take water out of it and put it in the cup. So you need a marketing person that can give you a system that works, that allows you to build a salesperson with your website, allows you to build a salesperson out of your emails, and then helps you close easier. Because if they get past the website and the email, and you actually now have to go face to face, nose to nose, Zoom to Zoom, phone call to phone call, how are they helping you close? Are they teaching you how to close? Are they showing you what to say? Are they showing you how to, talk about the benefits of your products and not the features? Because what will happen if you're not from sales, you've never sold, then you're going to get on the phone with somebody and you're just going to be blah, 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 telling them everything about the product. And then they're going to say, okay, cool. All right, well, thank you. We got some more meetings to take. We'll get back with you. We'll take a look over what you gave us. And now you wasted weeks on a proposal. You've gotten your hopes up. And you just peed it away. And don't get me wrong. I don't get every contract every time I sit down. I don't. But typically, if I don't get it, I pretty much know why I didn't get it. I can go back and say, okay, here's the step I missed. I didn't ask if they were ready to buy. I didn't shut up and let them talk. I was over talking them instead of asking all the things that they needed so that we could fulfill all of their needs faster, simpler, easier, with less stress. Because the more I talk, the more things I miss. See, when you're talking about helping somebody, you need them to talk. So why us? What are you hoping to get from us? What's on your mind? How do you see this going? What would success look like for you? What's the thing that is working? What's the thing that's not working? So that you could then make the necessary moves that you need to make to help them. But if you talk the whole time and your marketing person isn't helping you fix that, if you talk the whole time, now you miss stuff. And when you miss stuff, you miss making money. Your marketing person should have you in a position to where you know exactly who you're able to help. You know exactly how you're able to help them. You know where your strengths are, so that when you do have these conversations and they do look at your website and they do look at your email, that it's easy for them to make a decision. The number one job of your marketer is to make it easy for your customer to make a decision. Easy for them to understand what it is that you're offering, see why it's valuable, see why they need it, see why they got to buy it right now as opposed to later, so that you can then get a wealth transfer. And when you know exactly what you've built, then you're more confident. So if you're someone who doesn't come from sales, you're more confident because now your marketer is giving you the words to say. You're able to go and say, hey, we know that people struggle with this. Therefore, we created this. So that people who struggle with this thing no longer have to struggle with it. And matter of fact, not only do they not have to struggle with it, we've created it in a way that allows them to get it faster, easier, simpler than anybody else. But, we only have so many spots. See, now that's a marketing move right there. We only got so many spots, limited time only. First 10, things of that nature. But if nobody wants it, then it don't matter if you only got 10 spots. So that goes away. If you're talking to strangers who didn't send for you, then they don't even see it. Goes away. If you don't have a consistent enough presence on social media, then they don't know you. They don't trust you. So all of this stuff goes together. It's not just taking pictures, Mom. You could take a whole bunch of pictures, but if you're never getting to people who want it, need it, are willing to pay for it and ready to pay for it, it don't matter. If you're never talking about the stuff that they want to hear, the questions that they have, the concerns that they have, you're never going to get there. If you don't have a good offer to their problem, you're never going to get there. So all of the above, they go together. I need to be able to get from contact to contract. So I need a person who's willing and ready. Because if they're not willing and ready, now I got to wait. I might not be able to afford to wait. Can you afford to wait? Can you afford to go months and months and months waiting on somebody to make a decision? So your marketer needs to know how to speed up that process. to speed up the decision making for somebody who is a little bit afraid, a little bit unsure. You know, because those are going to be where the bulk of the customers are. Now, yeah, you're going to have your early adopters who just jump in. Ooh, this is a new thing. I'm going to get it today. But after your early adopters, that's what a majority of your business is. And that undecided, need more information, got questions, doing research group of people. So now how do we take the doing research group of people and turn them into customers? That's what your market is for. You know, like I know you got something that I might want, that I might even need, but why you? That's what the customer's saying. Customer's saying, why you? Because remember, if they hit that little research, you know, the Google, or they looked it up online, now all of a sudden Instagram, YouTube, Google, all of the above, they done flooded their timelines with people who theoretically could help them. So now you become just one of many. So now how do you do business with strangers when there's 57 of you and you're all strangers? How do you stand out? Okay. That might not be the best way to go. I know with my clients, man, we trying to work every angle. We going to work that, you know, stranger, and we're going to do it long enough for us to break through and continue to answer questions for that stranger that makes us stand out, because the other person just talking about themselves and taking pictures. But then we're going to work the people who you know. You know, we're going to work the people who know of you. We're going to work all those contacts in your phone. We're going to work all those contacts in your email. We're going to work everybody that you ever met. Because if you have something that helps people, they would be a horrible friend not to refer somebody that you could help to you. You got a person out there that's just struggling with something, and you seeing them every day, and you know somebody that can help them. You know, you see them struggling with their weight. Girl, I see you breathing hard. I see you sweating. Man, you should call my guy. You know, he runs the da-da-da-da-da boot camp. He can help you. You know, he specializes in larger women. You know, he good dude too. He's solid. Now that's a sale, because that person sold them for you. Okay. So now we got the website as a salesperson. We got the email as a salesperson. We got your friend as a salesperson. We got your former customers as a salesperson. And the only person you got to sell to is strangers. But even with that, we're just going to answer questions for the stranger. You know, how much does it cost? How long does it take? Where's the best place to go? So on and so forth. So that then they say, okay, well, cool. That's our guy. He giving us all the game. He giving us all the info. He giving us everything we need to know each and every week. He's showing us how to knock it up, how to knock it down, how to make it work. And then, oh, now he running a special. You know, if you want me to do it for you, if you want me to do it with you, click the link. Go to the page. Let my salespeople work you. My website. Let the salesperson call the website work you now. Go on over to the website. Now, again, like if you're interested in growing your business, you know, if you think, hey, man, I'm doing 100 and I need to be doing 500. I'm doing 500, I need to be doing 5,000. Go over to growingrich.com. Get your free consult. And here's what's going to happen. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk about your business. And then I'm going to send you back an assessment of all the areas of your business that there are opportunities for growth. Now, what's wrong? You know, not going to try to beat you up. I'm just going to show you, hey, man, here's where you probably could say it a little bit better. Here's where you could probably do a little bit more so that you get the results that you want. And that's not uncommon. You know, I'm pretty sure that when you get off the phone with me, you'll have something that you can use to make some money, and it wouldn't have cost you anything. You know, but with that being said, I'm really only looking for people who are trying to grow their business. You know, people who are trying and willing to try. Because those are the people I work best with. I don't really work well with people who are lazy. You know, so if we got a plan, I need the person who's willing to work the plan. Okay. Now, if you got a significant amount of money and you want to pay me to work for you, that's different. But that's not cheap, because you don't make money for somebody else and not make any money. So if you'd like me to show you how so that you can then do it for yourself, great. Let's do it. If you'd like me to do it for you, let's sit down and we'll talk about it. But whatever we do, here's what it looks like. It's going to be fast in regard to getting a result. It's going to be focused on the thing that you need to do to make the result happen. It's going to be financially beneficial. And it's going to be at a fair price. So if you go to growingrich.com, it's fast, focused, financially beneficial at a fair price. And if you're a grown person, I'm the #1 coach for you, because I understand what it's like to have moms and cousins and aunties and the phone ring, and there's people who are depending on you. And I know that you don't want to let them down. I know that you don't want to be the person that can't be there like you're supposed to be, like you were raised to be, like you were taught to be. And that takes money. But at the same time, man, I know you're tired of this gig, and that you really talented, and you probably could run your own, because you've been making money for these folks forever. So you probably do have enough skills to do it. If somebody showed you how to make the website a salesperson, the email a salesperson, how to use the friends that you have as salespeople, how to use the customers that you have as salespeople, even if all you have is customers that you work with for free, how to use them as salespeople and to get testimonials that then make people who are kind of on the fence, because again, those are the majority of the customers, they on the fence. And we need to figure out a way to get around those 50 other people who might not be as good, who might not be able to help them as much, to the customer, so that they can then make a decision to use us. Because if we're just waiting in line, they might have made their decision after meeting with 2 people, and we might be the 10th one. So again, if you would like my help growing your business, improving your ability to earn and make a living as a business owner, how to take that business and make it the best it could possibly be by getting, keeping, closing, and taking advantage of each and every customer you get, so that you can hire more people to do the actual work, so you can go chill somewhere. Because that's what's supposed to happen when you're a business owner. We had a whole conversation about this on the internet yesterday, and somebody was talking about, and I'm going to go after this, so this one more thing. I had a conversation yesterday talking about good business people, bad parent. And what I said is that you're not a good business person if you don't have time and financial freedom. Let me repeat that. You are not a good business person if you do not have time and financial freedom. Because what should be happening if you have a good to great business is that you should be able to hire and collaborate with people who can then help you in the process of you helping them. They needed a job. You had an opportunity. They get paid really well. Your business runs smoothly. So now, instead of you sitting there on a Saturday, you could be out getting your nails done. Instead of sitting there on a Saturday, you could be out with your daughter. You could be out with your son. Instead of having to be there to close, you could leave early and then go on over, to the recital or to the basketball game. Because that's what's happening for these companies that you work for. They out of there. Those business owners that you work for, you at work. They on a yacht. They on the golf course. They're going to the recital. They're going to the game. So why can't that be you? So just like they hired you, your good working, hard working, honest self, why can't you put yourself in a business situation where you hire good, hard working people and pay them a fair wage, and don't play them like your company playing you? And if you hire a marketing person that can show you how to get from contact to contract multiple times, and then show you how to keep those people buying, then you got it. But only a good business owner thinks like that. See, a bad business owner is just like, man, let me get as much money as I can so I can go trick it off. Let me get as much money as I can and hoard it and hold on to it and not hire good people and try to do it all myself. You are not a good business owner if you are constantly doing all the work yourself. Because one set lose 1,000, but two sets lose 10,000. If you running the stock, mopping the floors, working the register, making the deliveries, you're not a good business owner. And if you got the 3, 4, 5 grand that you need to go hire somebody and you don't hire them, you're irresponsible as a business owner. Because how are you going to grow a business if you're the only person? I have this happen each and every week. People that really need to hire me can't hire me because they too busy working. Oh, wow, something happened over here. I had to run over there and check on that. Oh, well, see, something had happened. I had to take this call. No, that's what employees are for. That's what partners are for. That's what supervisors are for. You can't even get the guy that's going to get you the money because you're too busy working. You ain't a boss, you a worker. Keep it a bean. You are not a boss if you have no employees, no partners, no supervisors, no project managers. You a worker. Use the doggone dope game one more time. And I hate using the dope game. The dude on the corner is not the boss. The dude that come by pick up the money is a boss. The dude that's bagging up, him not the boss. The dude that's waiting on that phone call saying that you picked up that work is the boss. So we understand it in all these dope movies and gang movies, but we don't understand it in business. If you was the drug kingpin, you wouldn't be bagging up. You was the drug kingpin, you wouldn't. What Biggie say? Them dudes that tote jumps, the guns can tote jumps too. So if you was a real boss, why are you carrying the guns into work? Same thing in business. If you're a real boss, why are you around here grabbing bags all day? That don't mean you never did it. That don't mean you don't ever do it. But if you're going to grow your business and you're going to have multiple streams of income, you got to be able to manage the income. Because what happens if you can't sit back and watch how the game is moving, people going to steal from you. I love the mom and pop restaurants, the old school Greek joints. You go get the breakfast and stuff like that because there's always somebody, grandmama or grandfather, standing in those spots watching the whole thing go on. And in the beginning, I didn't quite understand it. I didn't realize what they were doing. They like a pit boss. They chilling. They make sure ain't nobody stealing on the register. They making sure ain't nobody slacking on the service. They making sure the tables get clean. They're watching their money work. Now you thinking, oh, the grandma, she just did. No, grandma boss. She soldiered up. She see what's going on. And then she call her little people over there and she whisper in their ear, tell Reggie he need to get a little bit faster with these tables. We got people waiting. She watching her niece on the register. Baby, we don't get no change out. They give you 20. Hey, that's it. They no give me 20. No, matter of fact, let me get change for 50. We don't do that here. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to watch the money grow. You're not supposed to be running over there grabbing stuff off the tables. No. If you got to run over there and grab it off the table, that means you ain't doing a good job of getting customers. Because you should be getting enough customers at the right price to be able to hire people so that you can make sure the vision is being carried out. The Father sits on high, he look low. So that's where you're supposed to be in this game, man. But if you hire marketing people that can't turn your website into a salesperson, that can't turn emails into a salesperson, that can't help you take advantage of people who know of you to then convert them into salespeople, who doesn't show you how to then close the clients that you actually got to meet with nose to nose, face to face, how you going to get there? Because you need all those things to get from contact to contract. But This has been another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships with adult small business owners and entrepreneurs. And I am your host, your business big bro, Sadon Long, aka the most dangerous man in marketing, aka better than your 401k. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, leave them in my DMs. What I would prefer is that you went over to growingrich.com, where you could find out how to get a free 30 with me. And like I said, we're going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about what your business goals are. We're going to talk about the things that are working, the things that you think aren't working, and where you would like to go. And at the end of that, I'm actually going to send you an assessment so that you know exactly what you need to do, written out on paper, to take the next steps to get to the business level that you want to get to. And again, I'm only looking for people who are willing to work. This is not a lazy man sport. So again, if you're willing to do the work with me, I'm willing to do the work with you to get you where you're trying